Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, Ba'Shem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And profiling, this is John Williams again. The name of this video is California is Falling. I watched a couple of his videos today. He also did one called The Collapse of America in Europe. Things aren't looking good, all right? And as a matter of fact, let me just open with this scripture. This is Ezekiel 27:27, and it says, Thy riches and thy fares, thy merchandise, thy mariners, thy pilots, thy caulkers, thy occupiers of thy merchandise, and all thy men of war that are in thee, and in all thy company which is in the midst of thee, shall fail in the midst of the seas in the day of thy ruin. And America is ruined. The rulership of the so-called white man is ruined. He's ushering in his NWO, his the MOTB going digital, and this whole system is collapsing, which what they wanted it to collapse. All right, and is the more you begin to understand the whole American experiment was all for purposeful obsolescence in the first place. So without any further ado, California has fallen. The Exodus has just begun. That's the name of this this video. All right, you can, matter of fact, you can see the name in the corner there. So let's let John speak for a few minutes, and we'll just bring in some scriptures.
As John here, California is seeing a massive exodus. It's not just California, Chicago as well, New York City. And where are they going? They're going to Texas. They're going to Florida. They're leaving. They're leaving in droves. And it's pretty fascinating to me to really look at the details, look at the data as to why that is. I lived in California since 2006. I loved California. But ever since, like 2012, it just started getting more and more and more challenging. Of course, probably in the 80s and 70s was much better. But from my experience, 2012 onward just got more challenging. But especially the last 2 years, it's unreal. We're seeing all these businesses leave. We're seeing all this opportunity leave. And I actually think that's what they want. And I think that they want that for one very specific reason. LA sheds 1% of the population during the pandemic era. The population of LA has fallen by 1% during the pandemic as some residents left for cheaper homes with more space for remote work. The drop mirrors other big cities' declines in the year that ended July 1, 2021, Wall Street Journal reported. Collectively, in the 9 cities with more than 1 million people, the population fell 1.7%, a loss of 419,000 residents. Only 2 cities grew, Phoenix and San Antonio. And I believe that they're growing because those locations, they probably offered, a lot of people would agree, a better lifestyle. Maybe a little bit more in line with the beliefs of people that were in California, like, what? I love California, but I don't love it this much. I'm not going to sacrifice everything for it. I'm going to go to places a little more affordable, a little aligned with my beliefs, no income tax, very business friendly, offer a better lifestyle for my family. I'm going to go there. And I think that actually had a massive, massive contribution to this. And I think it's only just most likely going to be the start of this. I think we're going to see more and more and more people if California continues down the direction that they're going in, and Texas stays strong how they're handling things. New York,
one thing I know is that the people in Texas are not very happy about these Californians that are coming there. Neither are the people in Colorado or any of the neighboring states. And you best believe all those people in the upper east, northeast part of the country are not happy about all the New Yorkers that are coming in. Because what happens when people with money, with lots of money, come into new areas, they bring basically they make everyone else cost of living go up. It's not the fact that you came in and you actually made my property value go up. They make everything the cost of living go up. That's what happens. And then, and people just don't, then they bring their ideas and all their, the alphabet lifestyle and all them weird California ways, man. So the people just don't like them. All right. And then you just mix in more red with blue, which causes more things, problems. And another thing is that look at America like a body, all right? Cities that are deteriorating and neighborhoods that are deteriorating, eventually it will affect the whole body, all right? If you got cancer, okay, you just can't move if there's a cancer, all right? If one state represents cancer, that will be California. You just can't move to Texas or New York. I mean, or away from Chicago or away from New York, all these cancerous places, to a better part of the same body. All right. You see, it makes no sense. It's just like this left and this right thing. You got to understand that the wings are still attached to the same hateful, wicked bird. All right. And so it's really making no sense for these people to doing this. Basically, it's a temporary fix. All right. Well, it does not fix anything. This is Jeremiah 49:7, and it reads, "Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Yeah, vanished." So, they really look stupid with a lot of things that they're doing. Their gradualism, they're moving too fast, they're making mistakes, they're leaving holes. When they do stuff, it gets picked apart on the internet the very same within hours. When they have these events where you have different mass shootings and big major events, and with literally within hours, the after the official story comes out, the evidence starts pouring in. It's usually opposite or different from what the official story is. That's what I'm saying. All right, but verse 8, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan." It says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon you, the time that I will visit him." All right? And that's pretty much what's happening. The calamities are upon Esau, Edom. Their birth rates are low. They're losing their homes, their health, and their wealth, their property, their status. Homelessness is growing in almost every city, especially and people are migrating to the warmer places, climates. A lot of homelessness. I was listening to a video with Elder Yashawamba, and he was talking about the homelessness that are literally at the gates of the Disney, and how homeless encampments are all in the wooded areas, surrounding and all, and all up and down in the hotels and the things that are on the strip that lead up to Disney World, which was a make-believe world of happiness and the good old American story. There's lots of children in America that never even get to go to Disney World. Then there's more kids. Then you got a population of children that've been there for damn near every birthday, every year of their life. Hell, I know a little kid who she's been to Disney World, Disneyland, and I think there's one in Hawaii. I believe she's been to that one too. And it's something that she's done every year. But then you got kids that's never even been to a theme park. The closest they get to a theme park is when the carnival comes, near the neighborhood. So basically what I'm saying is that there's a serious imbalance in America, and these people are not fit to rule. They just aren't. It's all falling apart. Let's listen to John a little bit more.
The nation's largest city lost 3.5% of its residents, or about 305,000 people. The 1% dip for LA, the second largest city, came to 41,000 people. The population of the third largest city, Chicago, fell by 45,000 people, about 1.6%. Nor was the population drop felt more than San Fran and other Bay Area cities, which generally led...
When they say largest, third largest, they really mean by population and people. The actual city limits of Chicago is bigger than LA. LA just has more people because it's so spread out, all different. But for actual city, Chicago is a bigger city.
The pack in the percentage of residents who left town. Now, I think people left San Francisco for a couple reasons. San Francisco is a beautiful place. At least it was a few years ago. Now, crime is through the roof. They've reduced the penalties for crime to a level to where it almost incentivizes bad behavior. Rents are through the roof. Everything is very, very expensive, and it's not a business-friendly climate. Population fell 6.3% during the pandemic, the most of any U.S. city, according to the latest Census Bureau. The Bay City.
And see, the Bay in San Francisco, it literally was, one of the most beautiful cities in America. I lived in Northern California in the Bay Area for almost 10 years. After I got out the Marine Corps, I kind of I got out when I got out off active duty. I was living in the Bay Area, and I stayed for a while. And before I came back to Chicago, and California was amazing, back then, and it still was super expensive, but it's I haven't been back because I last place I lived was Hayward. I lived in San Francisco for a while, but I lived in Hayward, which is a suburb of Oakland. About 45 minutes south of Oakland, and from what I hear, what Hayward looks like, it's like a drug infection. It's just as bad as San Francisco. It's not worse. So it's homelessness all up and down the Bay, all throughout California, and people sleeping in their cars and parking lots and encampments. This is Ezekiel 27. Back in Ezekiel 27, I'm gonna jump to verse 33 and 34, and it says, "And when thy wares went forth out of the seas, thou fillest many people. Thou didst enrich the kings of the earth with the multitude of thy riches and of thy merchandise." And see, America got rich, and through its merchandising, through its importing and its exporting, and now and of recent, like the last 40 years, it's been mostly importing. So people in the import business, retail businesses, are the people who've really been making money. America, collectively there's not a lot of things made in America that's sold around the world. It just isn't. And it says, "And in the time when thou shalt be broken by the seas in the depths of the waters, thy merchandise and all thy company in the midst of thee shall fail." So, now China is the major producer of everything, and America's producing nothing. China is ahead with the digital thing, with the MOTB, and China's ahead, and as the ruble is becoming the Russian ruble is literally on its way to becoming the world, and the Chinese yuan, the world's dominant currency, where America, the greenback doesn't have that status anymore. It's actually lost that status. It's not losing it; it has lost it. All right, and there are lots of things that are headed this way to America, and it does not look good. I mean, you're looking at, you got the wheat thing, which is going to kick in. You're going to be out of wheat, so that's half of your foods and processed foods. And anyone that's going in the stores can see how empty the shelves are getting. There's a certain health bar that I like to get and keep a couple in my bag for what, because when I'm on the move, so I can, do a meal replacement or anything, because you really got to stay away from processed food. But this is one of the better ones, and it's one of those Lara bars, and the couple that I like the most, clearly that's the one that most people like, and it's hard to find them, that particular bar. All the ones that taste horrible, they're still there, but the ones that taste really good, man, they're But yeah, so a lot of things, a lot of different foods are made with that, right? And then you got you got the housing crash, you got a car loan thing. Most people aren't making the payments on their cars, so you got a problem with that. A lot of people are going to be kicked out of their apartments. A lot of people are going to lose their homes. A lot of people can't pay child support. They can't. They just don't have it, and it's just looking bad. And you're looking at rolling blackouts. In during the summer months, and you're looking at a possible collapse. By the end of the summer, going into the fall. This next couple weeks actually, because we'll probably June will probably be somewhat regular chaos that we already experiencing. But by the time we get to like the middle end of July going into August, just be prepared, man. And all these experts, all these financial experts and all these preppers, they're all pretty much saying the same thing, man. And then and at the WHO, the the WEF and the WHO, what's her name, Doctor? Let me see if I can find that. What is her name? Dr. Pippa Malmgren. She just came right out, and Dr. Pippa Malmgren, and she came right out and said that it's time to get rid of the cash. Cash has to die now, and they're just going. So they're getting ready to, do their enterprise, but it's all gonna fail, man. Because the scriptures clearly say when they're about to fill their belly, certain destruction will come. But Dr. Pippa Malmgren, she just came out, so they're getting ready to go digital and go toward, the whole thing that goes in, Revelation 13, 16 through 18. It's about to come to life, man. And a lot of people about to suffer. All right. But that also means that the Lord is that much closer to coming, because when they set that up, the Lord is going to come. All right. So as soon as they get it set up and get it up and going, that's when all hell will probably break loose before then, but it's really gonna go nuts at that time. But this is let's get one more scripture and get ready to close out. Let me let John speak a few more minutes.
We lost nearly 55,000 people as residents bailed out for remote work. Now, what's fascinating here is these protocols and how this all kind of comes together. So right now they have 740,000 renters in California that are behind on rent.
Wow.
This is March 22nd. So about 2 months ago. Right? 740,000 people are not paying rent because of eviction moratoriums. It's a very friendly location.
So he said that was, in March. So we're in June now. So tomorrow's June 1st.
Society, because they're offering all of these different type of protocols. Like, for example, this universal basic income, they're now offering $1,000 a month for high school seniors experiencing homelessness.
Wow. Buy a house with no money down. If that sounds too good to be true, that might be because nobody ever explained to you exactly
shut the
how
hell.
it
He's
works.
telling you how, man, he was red as hell.
I'm sure they're all...
Actually, I'm glad he did show up. They go to show you that there's no such thing as white people, man. They truly are the Edomites. And the first came out red all over. Because I hadn't looked at them. I was just trying to look for the button to click it off. When I looked up at them, man, that was Esau for real right there, boy. But go ahead, John.
There are high school seniors that are experiencing homelessness. I'm sure it's not rare, but at least to my knowledge, I don't really know anyone that went to high school that didn't have a home. Right? Most people that go to high school, they have to use an address.
Times have changed.
Somewhere. They generally have a mother, a father, a caretaker, someone to help them. I would say 99 times out of 100. Right? But when you're giving a high school senior $1,000 a month, you're giving them incentive to not contribute, to not.
Let me tell you, man, $1,000 a month is gonna go nowhere, especially in California. They got the highest gas in the country, all right? The highest cost of living in the country, all right? So, this place is done. It's finished. This is Revelation 18 and 10. And because this is what's about to happen. Because, the third woe, which is World War III, is at hand. And that's going to be the end result of all of this. All this failed policy is leading up to World War III. All right. So this is Revelation 18 and 10. And it reads, standing afar off for the fear of their torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So it's literally going to take the Lord only 1 hour to completely annihilate this place. And if that's an hour in heavenly time, it's probably even faster than, because you got to think if 1,000 years to us is only 1 day to the Lord, then I'm no mathematician. Figure out 1 hour is. So the chariots and Yahushua and the chariots, the technology of the chariots, that heavenly technology is going to be that. Wow, it's going to be that powerful. That destruction, devastating power that the world has never seen, man. It's going to be something out of a movie, just way worse, right? And it says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, because nobody's ever going to make money with this place ever again. The merchandise of gold, silver, and precious stones, and pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all Diane wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and manner of vessels, most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. See, slaves are a commodity. And yes, there are going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. All right. The Lord promises that the elites of Esau, Edom are going to be the first fruits of slavery. All right. Their first job is going to be to bury all those bodies. Okay. But let me keep reading. It says, and the fruits thy souls lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. So your favorite snacks, and your favorite chocolates, your favorite brand of cigarettes, no more. It says, as a matter of fact, in the world to come, ain't going to be nobody smoking. Smoking is going to be done away with. All right, and it says, and the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city that was clothed with linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great the riches is come to naught. And every shipmasters are already looking confounded now, because all them ships are just floating on the sea and nothing is really moving. All right. And every shipmaster and every company and ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? All right. And America is one gigantic city, the city without walls. It's talking about Babylon the Great, which is a place where Edom rules. But they shall rule no more. Their time and their rule is coming to an end. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Klam Yasharala Shalom.